Mighty companions. That's what I'm talking about. This is Earl Purdy. I want to welcome you to Facebook Live, A Course in Miracles. Facebook Live, A Course in Miracles. Where are we? We're in A Course in Miracles. Course in Miracles. You know something, you have to think pretty highly of yourself to want to learn a Course in Miracles. Think about that, right? Like I want to learn a Course in Miracles. I want to learn how to do stuff that defies time and space. I want to have something that goes beyond everything we believe is possible. Don't you think that's what a miracle kind of represents? When you hear the word miracle, don't you kind of think of, oh, this is something that you just wouldn't even think could happen? You right? And of course it's saying, yeah, you being loving. Sometimes people miss the humor of Jesus or the Course, and when I'm looking at the Course, it freaks me out because what it's saying is so true. It's so true. All right. You're not supposed to happen today. All changes are helpful. I'm going to tell you some things. I'm going to tell you some things that you don't have to believe, and I'm going to tell you some things that you don't have to accept, and I'm going to tell you some things that you may not want to hear. How's that for motivation? I kind of see why I'm not exactly a turn-away crowd. So you're going to tell me something I don't want to accept, something I don't want to believe, something I might not welcome, and something that I might actively resist? Yeah, like your ex-boyfriend. Didn't believe it, didn't accept it, resisted it. It says, I love the humor of the Course. Then it says, some of the ideas you will find hard to believe. I'm going to tell you some stuff that you're going to find hard to believe, and hopefully I'm going to say some stuff that startles you. Okay, and I'm not asking you from the Course. It says I'm not asking you to judge the ideas. So we're not sitting up here to judge the ideas. It says what I want you to do is use the ideas. I'm really good at judging, not so good at using. You know, between the two, I'm a much better judge. I love to judge because whenever I'm feeling down, I gotta make myself feel better by making it look like other people are worse than me. Yeah. So when I want to be uplifted, I look at the news. Because I certainly feel superior to what I'm watching on TV. I wouldn't walk into a store and shoot up everybody. And I wouldn't rob them. You know what I'm saying? So people that say, oh, the news, it depresses me. And I look at the news and go, oh, I'm so cool. I'm so much better than them. So good. And so then that shows me that the ideas are true. That shows me that the ideas are true. So we're going to be on lesson 127 in the Course in Miracles workbook. What is one of the main things we need to remember? Well, I want you to remember I'm the divine repetition teacher. and I'm your remembering coach. So my job is to help you remember. Because the Course says our biggest problem is that we forget the truth, right? So, and then it also says, read me slowly, do me slowly. He says, the book says that over and over again. I know you can read. Okay, so it's not about how good you can call words. What I want you to do is I want you to slow down and think about what you are hearing. Let yourself hear what I'm telling you. Like, for instance, there is no love but God's. Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. The only kind of love that you'll ever really experience is the kind of love that the Creator gives. The only kind of love that you can ever truly count on is the love the Creator gives. The only love that you can, that's the only kind of love that's real love is the kind God gives, the Creator gives. Don't run with that. Notice how Jesus of the Course talks to us. Perhaps you think, well, that's your problem. He said, you slow down, you'll see the humor of it. First he starts out, this is a very positive book, so I'm going to start out with the first sentence. The first half of it is, there is no love. So imagine I'm God. I do. Okay, y'all imagine I'm God. I do. Okay, so I'm telling you, there is no love but the kind of love that I give as I define love. God is saying, there isn't any other kind of love but my love. And then he goes, perhaps you think that different kinds of love are possible. Perhaps you think there are different kinds of love. Perhaps you think there are different kinds of love. See, he's talking to us. You all think there's different kind of love. You think there are different kinds of love. Then he says, well, let me explain. The whole book reads this way. You don't ever have to analyze the Course because it assumes you don't know anything. Your analyzing the Course is just a delaying maneuver to keep you from reading it. So the Course is saying to me, there is no kind of love but the love I give. I know you think there are different kinds of love. Let me give you an example. You think it's a kind of love for this, and you think it's a kind of love for that. You think there's one way that you love I love my daughter different than I love my sister. Right? Yeah. I think different kinds of love are possible. I think there's a way of loving you, but then I got to love my kid another way. Then it says it right here. Another way of loving still somebody else. I can't love my girlfriend the same way that I love my uncle. Right? He says that you all think that there's lots of different kind of loves. And then I have to go, okay, I'm going to get out of denial. I'll admit I think there are different kinds of love. Well, it says, well, you're wrong. Love is one. Bob Marley had it right. One love. There's only one love. There's only one love. So then you ask yourself, well, what do you mean by that? The Course is saying, well, keep on going. Love doesn't have any separate parts. There are no separate parts of love. I don't love my eyes more than I love my butt. You know, love doesn't have separate parts. There are no degrees of love. Well, I love you a lot. You know, but I love you more than I love the other one. No. Love has no degrees. It never went to college. There are no kinds of love. There are no levels of love. I love you on this level, but I love someone else on another level. There are no levels of love. 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 There are no different kinds of love. It says that means there are no divergences and there are no distinctions in real love. You wouldn't love me any different than the way you'd love your own child. If it was real love, you would be looking out for me as much as you're looking out for you, and I'd be looking out for you as much as I'm looking out for me. If it's real love, we're looking out for each other, and we're looking out for each other equally. Do you know what the Course in Miracles is always doing? It says the problem is you all don't know the difference between when you listen to the truth and when you're listening to a lie. Mm-hmm. And you can always tell, he said, do you know you can always tell when you're listening to a lie? Would you like to know how you can always tell if you're listening to a lie? There's some kind of pain involved. There's some type of fear involved. He says, the Course teaches, all pain comes from deceiving yourself. So whatever area of your life that you have the most fear, worry, or pain in, does that mean that's the area of your life that you're lying to yourself the most? If you think right now you're in financial pain, then that's the area of your life that you're lying to yourself the most about how much abundance you could have. You're telling yourself total lies about your abundance. And that's why you're in financial pain. You're deceiving yourself. So the Course is saying that love is like itself, unchanged throughout. So when I really love y'all, my love for you will never change. It won't be here this morning and gone this evening. It won't be, I loved you 6 months ago. Now if you come near me, I'm calling the police. The funniest thing to me is hearing people disparage their exes. You know, that's real funny to me because you said you loved them at one time. They couldn't do nothing wrong at the beginning. You couldn't get enough of them in the beginning. How could somebody you felt that way about later on you have such an opposite feeling toward them unless the feeling you had toward them at first wasn't real? You didn't love them in the first place, and they didn't love you in the first place. That's why you don't like them now. That makes sense. Y'all don't like you and you don't like me. I don't want to be around you sounds logical. So then the Course says, love never alters with a person or a circumstance. If it's real love, I'm going to be the same way with you as I'd be with Hitler. Real love would not have, it would not change regardless of who the person is. They still deserve love. And then the Course says, it is the heart of God. So what is love? The heart of God. What is God's heart? Love. And he said, it's also your heart too. So whenever I see you, I get a great big heart on.
That's good.
I can tell when you got correct perception, you're laughing. So tortures, I think maybe I was making a mistake. How can you tell they don't like you? They're trying to kill you. That's kind of obvious they don't like you. Okay. The truth, that Course in Miracles said, the truth is obvious, and that's why everybody misses it. So he says, the meaning of love is obscure or hidden to anyone who thinks that love can change. So anybody that thinks love can change is somebody who doesn't know what love is. So if you tell me your love could change, then you're also telling me you don't know what love really is. If you think our love can change, you already let me know at the very beginning of the relationship that you don't think our love is real. So when anybody talks to me about a change in love, I know that that's somebody that doesn't know the meaning of love, and I need to be aware of that before I get in a relationship with them. I'm trying to proactively have some sanity from the beginning. I need y'all's help. I'm trying to choose right from the very beginning. So let me get that straight. If I'm talking to anybody and they believe that love can change, that it can come and go, before I enter into a relationship with that person, I should understand that I'm getting in a relationship with a person who doesn't know what love means. So there might be some times that they're not going to be showing me some love. So just get that straight before you ever take them home. Anytime you talk to anybody and they think that love is one way of loving another, that love is having a kind of love for this, but and a kind of love for that, they think that there are different degrees of love, different distinctions of love. Anybody that thinks that, the Course says, you're dealing with a person who doesn't know what love means. Be aware. You only get hurt when you deceive yourself. And you're deceiving yourself if you think you're with a person that knows what love is, if you're with the person that their love for you changes all the time, all day long. They like you in the morning, don't like you in the evening. Y'all like each other. The Course in Miracles says anybody that's in that kind of relationship, these are people who don't know the meaning of love. Well, that's everybody I know. That's everybody I know. Include me. Believe me, I'm not leaving me out. The Course says if you leave yourself out, you made the problem unsolvable. Because you're the problem. Isn't that hilarious? You want to get rid of the problem, make sure that you don't leave you out. Oh, it's so funny. But you have to hear it right. And it's funny when you read it slowly. It's not so funny when you read it fast. And the worst thing that could happen is that you pass out and get a good sleep. I always recommend the Course to people who have a problem with insomnia. I do all the time. And they'll say, it worked. I tried to read the first sentence. So let's get this clear. Anybody that thinks love can change is somebody who doesn't know the meaning of love. What else about that person, please? Well, the person that thinks that love can change does not see that changing love is impossible. So a person who doesn't know what love is doesn't realize that it's impossible that real love ever change. If I really love you, it will never change. If I really love you, it will never change. If I really love you, it will never change. If you really love someone, it will never change. If you really love someone, it will never change. It will never change. It will never change. If you really love someone, it doesn't have any anger, guilt, grievances, and fear in it. And no attack at all. Not even for your own good. No wonder sometimes people can read the Course and get depressed. It makes you so aware of all the stuff you're not doing. It makes me aware, well, I'm not doing that. I'm not seeing the love is the same for everybody. I don't always feel the same way about everybody. I do have picks and special picks. So the Course says, well, that's why you've sometimes gone through pain and love. That's what I'm telling you. As long as you believe in changing love, you're also going to experience what people experience when they're not experiencing real love, which is a love that comes and goes, and it's up and down, and sometimes you feel good, and sometimes you don't. That's the price you pay for not knowing what love really is. So then it says, and so, then check this out. Then he goes, well, I'm going to explain this even further. He said, I'm going to tell you exactly what that looks like when a person thinks love changes. You know, they don't know what love really is. He says, so this is a person that thinks they can love at times and hate at other times. I think I can love and hate. There's a thin line between love and hate. You know it's true, isn't it? That same person that you be going, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. And they be going, I love you, love you, love you. You're slobbing all over each other. The next minute you come near me, I'm going to catch COVID. And the book is so true. You say you think you can love people that sometimes hate people at other times. You also think you can bestow your love on one person. Look that word, bestow your love. He said, you think that love can be bestowed on one, yet it's still going to remain love even though you're withholding it from somebody else. So you actually think love is something you could withhold. I said it again. The Course says, you think love is something you can withhold. Like I can decide I'm not going to love you. And the Course in Miracles is saying, sorry, love is irresistible. You can't resist the presence of real love. There's no such thing as real love showing up and then you distrusting it and resisting it, really, if you recognize real love. So if I think you could love me, but you could hate your ex-boyfriend, I know you don't really love me, and I know you don't really know what love is, and I need to take that in consideration before I go deeper into a relationship with you. Am I willing to take responsibility for being in a relationship with someone that I know doesn't know what love is? Because that's what you're getting ready to do. If you think that you're falling in love with somebody that thinks love changes and it's something that can be given to some and withheld from others, the Course says they're not bad, they're not sinful, they're not guilty. This is just a person who doesn't know what love is. And a person that doesn't know what love is bound to also express some fear and anger and guilt and attack from time to time, because that's what you go through when you don't know what love is. So if you're in a world full of angry people, you're just in a world full of people who don't know what love is, including you. That's why you're there, by the way. How can you not be part of a world you're a part of? So I'm going to tell you, I want to love you. I want to give you a change in love. That's why I studied this book, because I'm not giving you that right now. My love changes. Is there anybody else in here who will not let me sing like I'm by myself sitting up here? Would you anybody go, amen, agree, yes, I understand. Yes, my love changes too. Yeah, it sometimes comes and goes. Yeah. Be glad our love goes. To believe these things of love is not to understand it. So if you believe you can give love to one person, but you can hold it back from another person, then you are a person who does not understand what love is. If you think love can change and you can give it to some people and not to others, then you don't know what love is. The first thing I want you all to learn is you don't know what love is. If you ever want to finally have real love in your life, you start with, I don't really know what love really is. And I am going to say, sitting in front of you today, I do not know what love really is. I don't understand love because I still give a change in love. So I'm being honest with you. Then the Course in Miracles says, if love could make such distinctions as I'm going to love Uncle Phil, but I'm going to hate Aunt Hattie. If love could make such distinctions, then love would have to judge, right? If love would have to judge, well, who is it that deserves my love because you're so righteous? And who is it that doesn't deserve my love because they're so bad? The person who doesn't know what love is always trying to go, who is it that I need to give my love to because they prove themselves and they're so good? And who is it that I need to withhold my love from because they hurt me some kind of way and did me something wrong? They had change in love. And I'm trying to decide which one that I am going to give my love to. So for me to judge, to choose who I'm going to love, then I've got to judge them. Because I've got to judge if I'm going to choose how I'm going to treat you. So the Course in Miracles says that you must not understand love if you think there's any part of love that's trying to judge who deserves love. So anybody that's trying to choose who deserves to be loved is somebody who doesn't know what love is. Anybody that's trying to decide who deserves to be forgiven and who doesn't deserve to be forgiven is a person who does not know what forgiveness is and does not know what love is. So anytime you're trying to decide between who you're going to bestow your love on, just remember you're not bestowing love on either one of them. Because what you're doing isn't love. So it don't really matter who you choose. You're still giving them something that's not real. Have a nice day. God, I sure hope you're going to take care of me because there's going to be nobody in my class before long. My stuff got some risk to it, man. It didn't turn out too well for Jesus, if I recall. He was up there hanging with some nails going through him. I'm like, Jesus, I want to follow you, but man, it looked like following you is painful. That's what I thought when I was a kid. It was like, Jesus, I really want to follow you, because I was born Southern Baptist, but it was like, woo! It seems like, your own father killed you. So, your own father said, I'm going to sacrifice you. Jesus had to have issues. He had to. That's why you think he came out with the Course of Miracles. It's for him. So then the Course of Miracles goes, okay, well, if you didn't get it that way, let me tell you it this way. Love cannot judge. It looks on everything as if it's one with it. So I'm not going to judge you, because I think all of you are me. When I think all of you are me, I'm going to change the way I treat you. If love, he says it right here. He says, love looks on everything as one. So when somebody's loving you, they're looking at you as being just like them. Somebody that loves you sees you as if you are just like them. Somebody that loves you sees you as you are just like them. You are exactly the same. You are just alike. Somebody that loves you, they don't see you as different from them. They see you as exactly them. They see you as them. Someone who loves you, they're not even dealing with you as if there is a me and a you. There is only me, and that is you too. You are me too. That's a new kind of Me Too movement. You are me too. Get it? You are me too. The Me Too movement. We are one with each other. You are one with me. I want to take that in. I'm sick of doing this stuff in the head. My head is full. Ideas and concepts abound. I want some love. I want to feel heart connection. I want it so bad. Then you go, how bad do you want it? I want a heart connection so bad that I'll be loving myself. That's how bad I want it. I'm going to be loving. Thank you for that thunderous applause support. I know I'm with the mighty companions I'm supposed to be with. We encourage each other.
How bad do you want it?
Thank you. It's not narcissistic to love yourself. That's great.
Just so other people would be happy.
Oh, man. So how is it that love eludes people? Well, the Course says love always eludes the mind that think there's a such thing as partly loving somebody. So someone who will seem to not know what love is someone who thinks that it's something you can get a little bit of. You don't ever get a little bit of love. You always get 100% of love. You don't get 20, 30, 40, 50% love. You get 100% love all the time. When it's real love, it's 100% love all the time. Sometimes this sounds impossible to a part of me. To think I could pull off this level of love seems impossible. And the Course of Miracles says, I know, it's playing that way. I said, what? It's playing that way. If I give you something to do that you can't do by yourself, you're no longer by yourself. Because as soon as you put up against something you can't do by yourself, that is the immediate call for assistance to the universe. So when I give you things that you think you can't do without help, that's going to get you to reach out and join with somebody else, because that's the way out of the problem that you're going through. The problem, he says, what keeps your problems from being solved is you're the one that's trying to do it. He said, what keeps your problems from being solved is you're the one that's trying to do it. And you're depressed because everybody's not acting out your plan. And so you want to kill them. But you're too nice for that. You study the course, so you pretend you don't. Then you just blow out a couple of your own organs. That's just what you do. So anybody that thinks there's a such thing as partial love is somebody that the meaning of love eludes them, because there is no love but the love that your Creator created. That's what it means. It says there's no love but God's. There's no love but the way love was defined by God. You cannot define love. You cannot define love. You cannot define love. You cannot define love. You can only give real love that is not partial, that never changes. How are you ever going to have that kind of love? The voice says, how are you ever going to have that kind of love unless that becomes, unless you have the idea of that kind of love? You got to have the idea before you have the love in your perception. You have to have the idea before you have the physical thing. You have to have the idea before you can have the physical thing. If you want love in the physical, you got to have the idea of love in the mental right now. You got to be willing to think of love. You got to be willing to go, you know what? I want a love that doesn't change. I want a love that doesn't attack me. I want a love that doesn't go up and down every day. I want a love that's not based on being judged and how well I'm acting out somebody else's script and how much they're acting out. I want a love that I can totally 100% depend on no matter what, that I can never lose, even if me and this person is no longer together. Before I can have that, I have to be willing to think of it. I have to be willing to give that idea some thought. So the Course in Miracles is introducing ideas to us that would get us out of the problems we think we have. He said, if thought is creative, unless y'all just jabbing when y'all say you believe your thoughts create your reality, but if you really believe your thoughts create your reality, then you need some new thoughts. The Course in Miracles defines our thoughts as sick thoughts. So y'all got sick thoughts. Not only sick thoughts, you got shabby thoughts. I went, that's kind of rough, ain't it, Jesus? You know what I'm saying? Break, man. He said, you got shabby thoughts. I never read a book that told me I had shabby thoughts before. But it was right. And so the Course in Miracles is saying there's just one love, and that's the love God gives. And all of love is the kind of love God gives. There is no other principle that rules where love isn't. So if you're in an experience that doesn't have love, then you're in an experience that seems like there's a lot of chaos and a lot of laws being broken. So people go, why are we in the world that it looks like there's so much chaos and so much fear? Well, he says, you're letting other principles beside love rule here. You all don't let love rule here. You come up with every other solution other than loving each other. You all come up with every other solution other than loving each other. And that's why you're experiencing what people experience who don't love each other. And people who don't love each other experience a lot of pain together, and a lot of fear together, and a lot of disease together, and a lot of bad weather together. People who don't know what love is suffer together. And they go out and get a relationship because they don't want to suffer by themselves anymore.
Okay.
I'm suffering and you suffer, but at least let's do it together and watch something streaming on TV. The Course says, you all's idea of relationship is joining in the suffering. I said, wow. Earl, do you take this lawful worded one as your partner to join you in suffering? I do. How do I know we're going to be joining in suffering, Your Honor? Because you think you got to love for them that you could be here today and gone tomorrow. So we know you ought to love each other even before you get married. So that means you all are going to have to forgive each other a whole lot. Because when you're in a relationship with a person who doesn't know the truth, they're going to do stupid things. And they're going to get angry, and they're going to project, and they're going to blame, and they're going to treat you good sometimes and treat you bad sometimes. And you already know that before you even get with them, because you know they don't know what love means. So therefore, are you willing to constantly be willing to forgive them for the mistakes that people make who don't know what love is? That's why I said listen back to it, because it goes like, whoop. It's like, yeah, if I already know you don't know what love is, and I know I don't know what love is, I know we're going to make mistakes. And I know that we're going to do some anger, and some blame, and some projection, and some guilt. I know that, because we don't know what love is. So if I go in a relationship with a person that I know does not know what love is, do I love them enough to love them past the times when they're doing what you do when you don't know what love is? Because they're going to do some things that you do when you don't know what love is. Do I love you enough to love you when you do the things that you shouldn't do if you knew what love is? Because I know you're going to do it, because I know from the very beginning your love wasn't the kind of love that never changed. That's because you were just telling me about how much you hate your other boyfriend. So I know you haven't changed in love. But if I really want you, I have to be willing to take responsibility for being with a person that doesn't know what love is, and a person that doesn't know what love is going to do stupid stuff, and painful stuff, and selfish stuff. I don't love nobody that much. To overlook every error they made, to forgive them no matter what they do. Who do I love that much? You know God must love us because we're still alive. Something must really love us, because in spite of what we think of as our flaws, it still continues to give us existence every day, no matter what. It told me I couldn't even get away from myself. Even if I tried to kill myself, I just killed my body, but I'd still be alive. But now I don't have a body to communicate to y'all with. The only reason why you're hearing me right now is because my body is a communication device. This is a communication device. I know it's hot, but I've been such a distraction to some people in my life. I wanted to be a distraction. I was trying to make myself look good so I could be a greater distraction. Notice my body and you're noticing me. Notice my body and you're noticing me. Notice my body and you're noticing me. So if I don't have a really cool body, nobody's going to notice me. If I don't have a really cool body, nobody's going to notice me. If I'm not physically attractive, nobody's going to want me. So, there is a law. And do you know love is a law? And there's no opposite to love. There is no opposite to love. Its wholeness is the power holding everything as one. Whew. Love is the link between us and that which created us. Love is the link to what created us. I want to join with the greater power. I want to connect with my higher power. I want to connect with my creator. Well, you're saying, I want to have a love that's coming through me that never changes and that doesn't come and go. That's all I have to say. To join my will with God's is to say, I want the real deal love, God. I'm tired of this fake love that I've given and received that always changes and always changes and always changes, and it comes and it goes and it comes and it goes, and sometimes that love is there depending on how you act, and sometimes it don't, and I think I gotta love one person one way and love another thing another way. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. So I want to join my will with the will of God. It's the same as saying, I want real love too. You want me to have real love. I want to have real love too. That's joining your will with God's. Do you want real love too? Wow. Wow. I thought, joining the will of God meant I couldn't go out to the club no more. I used to think God's will always was asking me to do something I didn't want to do. And that's why I was never turned on by it. It always looked like it was everything it wanted me to do was not any fun. No course whose purpose is to teach you to remember what you really are. What is the purpose of the Course in Miracles? To teach you what you really are. You're studying this book because you need to learn what you really are. And no course whose purpose is to teach you to remember what you really are could fail to emphasize that there can never be a difference in what you really are and what love really is. I'll say it again. I'm studying the Course in Miracles so that I can remember what I am. And then it says, well, what you are is love. So there is never a difference between you and love. You are just like love. You have the same qualities as love. You have the same qualities as love. You have the same qualities as love. What does that mean? That the love in you never changes. The real love in you never changes. The real love in you automatically loves everything and everyone as one. The real you is already capable of doing that. The real you can love everybody without changing. The real you can love somebody without judging them. The real you never would really attack. The real you is already seeing everybody as the same as you. The real you already knows that you deserve the best that the universe could have to offer. So what the Course is trying to teach you is to remember that you are so doggone cool, beautiful, and loving that there's nothing about you that could ever deserve any kind of pain or hurt or harm in any way ever from anyone. You deserve nothing but 100% total and complete love, safety, happiness, and abundance, and joy at all times, no matter how stupid you act. I might be crazy, but I sure can kiss good. And I remember that's when it was that was all it took. But as you get older, you get more spiritual. Your body can't pull off for you what it used to. So the Course says, then you all feel betrayed. I love it. He said when your body fails your dreams and it can't do what you wanted to do, he said then you feel betrayed and then you attack your body. And that's where all the pain and sickness and everything else comes from in the body. He says that's you all being mad and taking it out on your body. There's a lot of angry people who are mad, taking it out on their body, and then they call it sickness and disease, or lack of money, or lack of relationship. So if you want to know the meaning of yourself, it's the same meaning that love has, and it's the same meaning that God has. And for what you are is what God is. You are the same thing that God is. You are the same thing that God is. You are the same thing your Creator is. You are exactly like your Creator. 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 You are just like love. You are love. You are lovable. You are lovable. You are love. You are love. You are love. You only deserve love. God is love. Yes. You are just like God. You are love. You are love. You are love. Yes. You are love. You don't have to try to put love in you. You don't have to try to make yourself think it's got to be something you get from somebody else. Love is what you're made of. Love is what you're made of. So like a little cha-cha. Love is what you're made of. Love is what you 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 made of. Love is what you're 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 made of. Love is what you are made of. Love is what you are made of. Love is you are made out of love. 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 If you go out on a date and you leave with the wrong person and you're afraid they may harm you and you're alone in their apartment, all you got to do is sincerely within you say to, in your mind, or say to them, if you want to be safe, say, you are made out of love. And at the very least, a person who's not ready to hear that, they'll just pass out. just like you do in the class. Just like you do in the class. That's what happens. And that's what they mean when they said love will protect you. That's what they mean when they say love will protect you. Because when you really say really loving stuff and you express a lot of love to people who have not learned how to believe that about themselves, it knocks them out. They go to sleep. They go unconscious. So it doesn't mean you're a bad conversationalist. If the person seems bored and they pass out when you're talking, don't you walk away saying, I must not be a good conversationalist because I talked to them and it looked like they were bored. Well, the truth is, if you were talking the truth, you probably were putting them to sleep. If you were coming there and you were trying to talk about something of some real substance, you probably were boring them. That's why they look like they were falling asleep. They get bored at conversations of substance. If you want to get along with the most people in the world, just learn the most meaningless things to believe in and talk about that you can come up with, and you'll have a whole lot of friends. But it's got to be meaningless. Unless it's meaningless, you're not going to have a whole lot of friends.
That's true.
And that's what I think is so deep about what it's saying right here. And that's why I'm saying this over and over and over again. It's because this is what I rather hear than all the other stuff that I'm hearing. I'd rather hear that love is everything there is, and that there's no limit placed upon love. And so that means there's no limit placed upon you because you are love. Since there's no limits placed on love, that means there are no limits placed on you. If love never has limits, if the meaning of love is freedom, if the meaning of love is freedom, if the meaning of love is freedom, does that mean that you are free? If the meaning of love is freedom and you are love, then you are free. You are free. That's why nobody's coming to free you. You're like a prisoner in a jail cell who's been pardoned with the jail door open, sitting in a deserted prison, waiting for somebody to come let you out. And then that happened. Spirit loves us so much, it sent this to tell us that we can leave now. Right? And then he says, if you're love, there's no limit placed upon love, so that means there's no limit on you. And then, okay, now this is the trip. This is the trip. He says, no law the world obeys can help you understand the meaning of love. So there's nothing that the world believes that can teach you what love means. There's nothing that the world of separation and fear believes that can teach you what love means. There's nothing a fearful, angry, guilty person cannot teach you what love means. A fearful, angry, guilty person cannot teach you what love means. You're not going to learn what love means from a person who doesn't know what love is.
Is that an angel singing? I hear an angel singing.
Thank you. Thank you. You were going for it. I want to know what love is. You was going for it. I'm so glad you did that because I can't afford a compliment. Thank you. Oh, that's why I love doing this and I love being with you because I'm having a good time. I don't know what's with y'all going on with y'all, but I'm having a great time. He said, take it slow. You move too fast. You people move too fast. He says, anybody who believes what the world teaches is somebody that doesn't understand the meaning of freedom and the meaning of love. He said, you know why? He said, because what the world believes, we made it up to hide what love means from us. The Course says we are hiding love from each other. It says you're not giving love to each other. What y'all are doing is hiding love from each other. You're hiding your love. That's what y'all do with each other. He says you all hide your love because you believe what the world teaches you. And what the world teaches you makes you want to hide your love because the world teaches you fear. The world teaches you separation and distrust. So you think to protect yourself, you got to hide your love because you believe in all the laws that are not based on love. You believe all the rules that don't have anything to do with real love, which is that love can come and go, and some people can get it and some people don't, and that it can change, and that it's different. He said, you all believe that, and when you believe that, it creates a world just like the world that you're in. Cause and effect are the same thing. Because, of course, you said all the time, cause and effect are the same thing. And it used to be kind of like, what do you mean? It sounds so abstract to me. And he says, no, you are in a world that people create who have forgotten what love is. And when people forget what love is, they randomly shoot each other and they let each other starve and they don't look out for each other and they judge each other and they attack each other and they rob each other, broken into periods when they act really nice to each other because everybody's doing what the other one wants them to do. That's all nice people you're hearing is with nice people who don't know the laws of love. They just satisfied with just right now because it looks like their mutual scripts are being acted out. That's what you call long periods of peace in a relationship. We've had a long period of peace. Y'all, you just been doing what each other wanted you to do. If one of y'all didn't, somebody would be upset. So it just means y'all doing the scripts together for the longest time now. Congratulations. This book is just a trip. He said to the average person, I'm not kidding, it's right from the book. He said to a person that doesn't know what love is, they think being in a relationship is their bodies being together under the same roof. That people don't know what love is, think that it's just enough to have the body there, even if there's no real communication or joining. And then the Course says, you know why you don't want that person to go anywhere? He said, the reason why you don't want that person to go anywhere is because you got to have somebody there to receive your sacrifice. If I'm sacrificing and being with you and being all unhappy, you better at least be here to see it. I want you to see how I'm suffering. So you stay under this roof with me. So I can show you through my unhappiness with you every day how no good you are. Or I'd be happy. So I want you to see what you're doing to me. So you better not go anywhere when I'm mad. You know how people don't want you to go, don't you leave out this house? You know, you be like, I'm trying not to kill you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to practice the truth. You know why? Because they want you to witness the pain that they are trying to blame you for. They want you to see what you are doing to them through their unhappiness. That was deep. As much as I paid them, I was hoping the other side to get that right. Okay. This stuff is orchestrated. And my budget is lean. I can only afford the bail. I see what the Course means when it says the world is going to end in laughter. Yeah, you're going to laugh at the crazy, insane stuff that we think and believe one day. It's going to make you laugh, and that'll be the end of it, right? If me and you laughing, it's the end of our guilt. It's the end of our anger. It's the end of our separation. So anything that's causing you pain, the end of it means you won't be going through it no more. The end of poverty means there is no more. The end of loneliness means there is no more loneliness. So when you say you want the end of something, you're really saying you want the thing the way you really would enjoy it. I want the end of my anger. Okay, well, that guarantees that means I am going to be feeling some good old juicy peace. So all of your pains will have to end in joy, or they haven't ended.
It's still going on. Completion.
Why is it still going on? Why is the pain still going on? What did he tell us today? Well, because you all don't know what love is. And you're obeying the laws that the world tells you. You're obeying the rules that the world gave you. You're obeying the rules of separation, the rules of fear, anger, grievances, distrust. That's why you go through the stuff that you're going through, is because you are doing exactly what the world is telling you to do. You have to go beyond what the world tells you to do and actually start disobeying the laws of fear that you learned. And when you do that, you'll find there's another world that was around you all the time, but you couldn't see it because you didn't know what love was. So when love did show up, you ran the other way. So I got to teach you how to stop running away from love by being able to recognize what it is from the very beginning. It's easy to never get in a relationship that's painful than it is to get in one and then have to use the truth to get you out of it. The Course says vision is seeing what's going to happen and how it's going to turn out before you even do it. You had vision about coming to this church today because you saw yourself here before you were. And that's how you make anything happen. You see yourself as already being there from the very beginning. If you want to be rich, you go, I want to be able to recognize the wealth I have already received. I want a loving relationship. I want to be able to recognize and accept the loving relationship or ships that I have already received. You always pray asking to be able to recognize what you've already received. Never pray as if you're trying to get something that you don't think you have. Never pray from the perspective of give me something I don't think I have. You always pray from the perspective of let me recognize the wealth, the health, the happiness that I already have.
That's beautiful. That's good.
All right. Okay. I'm going to give an opportunity to give. I love you, whether you do or however you do it, don't. Would you take this, my brother? Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing with me. If you'd like to share and make a financial expression of appreciation, you can use Zelle, Venmo, the Cash App, PayPal, Zelle. And you can go to my website, Earl Purdy at earlpurdy.com, P-U-R-D-Y. I'm available for one-on-one sessions called clarity sessions. Been having incredible clarity sessions, especially lately. If you'd like to have a clarity session so you can get clear on something that you're using to hold back your happiness or what it might look like another person or circumstance is using to hold back your happiness, if you want out of what you're going through, and you're willing to really look at it another way, then I'm available for a personal session. You'll know. Just go to my website and give you all the details, and you can self-book a session, and we will focus all our attention on you. Sundays at 1 p.m. Sundays at 1 p.m. Mountain Time on the Earl Purdy page on Facebook. We do A Course in Miracles on Facebook Live, 1 p.m. Mountain Time. You can come and attend in person. You can attend in person. You can also attend in person in Denver, 1555 Race Street, Denver, Colorado, 80206.
On Thursdays?
On Thursdays it's online, and then Sundays it's here and online. All right. And you can watch my classes on YouTube also. I upload it. Please share it and listen to it at least 4 times. One of the hardest things to believe is that if you would just focus your attention on the truth, you would see all the problems that you think you have begin to evaporate. All you have to do is sincerely want to give some attention and some study to the course, and you will begin to see your problems begin to evaporate in your perception. I promise you that. And I guarantee that a solution that says you don't have to believe it, you don't have to accept it, you don't have to welcome it, you can resist it, you can find it hard to believe and even quite startling. If it tells you that you don't even have to believe, accept it, or welcome it, and it will give you exactly what you're asking for, all you have to do is give it a little attention, a little study. Whew. That's so easy that it's taken me years to be willing to let my life be that easy. A lot of true books teach that the next level of beyond this one is the level of gifting. That instead of feeling like you have to earn and pay and earn, it says the next level is you have to learn how to experience things being gifted to you. The things that you've been accustomed to thinking you have to work for and earn. You only have to learn how to let somebody love you, and you haven't done anything. You didn't have to do one single thing to get that love. You didn't have to act a certain way. You didn't have to speak a certain way. You didn't have to be a certain way. We got to prepare you to be around people who absolutely love you and let you be. Because people who love you by really letting you be will look like they're not doing anything to you. They'll look like somebody that's not interfering, not trying to get you to follow their script. So your ego might say, oh, you look like you care about me as much as you used to because you don't get all involved with all the stuff that I'm going through. And the person is going, look, I'm loving you. And loving you means that I let you be. And that I'm here for you in whatever way I can that you asked me to. That's not a sacrifice to me. I'll do whatever you want me to do as long as it's not a sacrifice to me. Because that's not fair for me to have to lose for you to gain. Somehow I'm supposed to have less enjoyment in my life in order for you to be happy. That's not love. Anybody who would ask you to do that is somebody that doesn't love you. And that doesn't mean you condemn them. It's because you recognize somebody that doesn't love you doesn't mean that you attack them. It's that when you recognize when someone doesn't love you, it becomes easier to forgive. Because you know they didn't really know what love was in the first place. And it says, and the cool part about that is when you make your mistakes and you do stuff that's unloving and you do stuff that's painful, that looks like it's painful to other people, then you will be met with the forgiveness you've given. Whoa, what? Yeah. You're going to always be met with what you've given and what you think you've given. That's what's going to always show up for you in your life. What you've given and what you think you've given. So every time somebody comes up to you with anything is something you've done in the past, and they're giving you an opportunity to let it go once and for all. And then people will, how do you let it go once and for all? Well, you recognize that all that happened because there wasn't really any real love. That there was fear. There wasn't any real love. That's why you made that mistake. And that's why they're making theirs. You all don't know what love is. But what's so cool, it says, is that it doesn't matter that you don't know what love is. Love knows what love is. So love is still going to give itself unconditionally, regardless of what you think about yourself. That's what makes it love. It's not like yours. That's why I try to tell people, I won't ever somebody want to get involved with me, I have a waiver they have to sign. I sent it to them in the email. Y'all think I'm joking? I'm not. These are my values. These are my beliefs. This is the way I like to do relationships. This is what I expect or don't expect. This is the way I approach it. If you really can go along with that, do electronic signature. You know why? Because when they forget that, and if they forget that in the future, and they're upset with me for being the way that I said I was going to be at the beginning, they get a chance to remember they agreed to that. You agreed to get on the Earl Purdy ride. It's gonna have its ups and downs. And sometimes you're gonna feel like you're upside down and you're spinning around. But I guarantee you'll end up where you started, safely on the platform. But I'm letting you know some loops in there.
So you in for the ride of your life.
That's right, you're in for the ride of your life, baby. Strap in. Because you're going to find out I'm an honest man. So I actually told you exactly the truth about me. And I tell people this. Now, this is the truth. And if it's something you want to know, just ask me. You want to know if I'm seeing somebody else? Just ask me. I will tell you the truth. Because no matter what I've done, I can't lose the love of the person who really loves me. So if you go, only thing that's happened is love that is not real has just left the house. So like Elvis. The love that is not real has left the house. I might grieve for you, and after that long 30 minutes,
A whole 30? A whole 30?
I'm going to say, all changes are helpful. I'm going to say, all changes are helpful. I'm so glad you're gone. Not only am I glad you're gone, I hope you have your heart's desire. Yes. I absolutely wish you the kind of love you've always. I'm serious. That's where I go. However, I'm giving you the God. I'm giving you the Spirit. I want you to have a good time. I want your life to work because I love you. And that did not change. The form of our relationship changed, but our relationship did not change. And so if I could hate you after I say I've loved you, I never loved you in the first place. So I can forgive myself for that, and I can forgive you for that, because neither one of us knew what love was. And we're both doing the best we could from where we were.
That's it. That's it.
So mighty companion, may the course be with you. Could we acknowledge us? Yes. And I'm perfectly willing to take about 10 minutes for us to share with each other. I promise I'll get you out of here when I say I will.